Now I'm going to talk to you about what kind of information we store on individual stakeholders. So I'm going to pull up an individual stakeholder. I go to a search database, and let's pick the stakeholders in the Souvenate UK project. So I'm typing Souvenate in the project field. These are 91 people. I pull them up, and here you see the actual 91 persons. So I'm going to pick, let's say, the first KOL, David Anderson. I'm going to click on this green button over here, which opens up the individual case of David Anderson. Here you can see what kind of information we store. The first section is an address book, and you see Kate Hall, who was running this project, decided not to complete all the information, but you could in principle have the complete address available over here. If you have it on an Excel sheet already, contact me, because I have a fairly easy method of uploading information to the existing system so that you don't have to copy paste all the information you already have. Down here is an ability to upload a biography of a person. Typically this is done by copy pasting from a website of the institution, for example, where this person works. And here's an opportunity to upload a photograph. Click on this button here. This will bring up a pop-up box, and you can select a file on your drive that you can then press to. After you press this button, it's going to be uploaded to the system. Very nice feature if you're printing off reports later on, where you have the pictures of the stakeholders associated with the names. Then we have a notes section here. You can see this person is a KOL connected to Souvenate. Those are unchangeable things because they have been set when we created this case. The category is the nutrition categories, so it's not been selected yet, but we can put it on Alzheimer's disease, obviously, because this is a Souvenate KOL. We have the specialty of the person, an old age psychiatrist. Representation would be a field where you keep track of the connection of this person to, for example, advisory boards to other companies, or advisory boards to the government, or to insurance companies. Sensitive issues, a field to keep track of little bits of information that may be important to other people that want to contact Anderson, like is not the best speaker, or some other information that may be relevant. Then we have a typical usage field. This is not a free text field, but a radio button field. You click on this button over here, and you see typical selections of things what people could do for us. So you could say, well, we use them as a speaker, we use them for clinical studies, and then you press this here, and then it's going to be saved, and then you have both options set for this individual. Then we have contact status, and contact status is a field that you can use to indicate to other people that found Professor Anderson that, for example, you want to be consulted before they contact Professor Anderson. This is a matter of charisma etiquette. If you see somebody if you see a stakeholder that has this set on consult before contacting or do not contact, you should follow this rule, because it means the person that has spent years and time to develop the relationship with this KOL is very protective of that relationship and wants to make sure that nothing damages that relationship. So I'll put it back here because Kate did not put anything here. Then we have assessment. Assessment is the field where we determine the power and urgency and support levels of a stakeholder. Power is a scale from 0 to 10, which describes the ability of a stakeholder to influence our success. 10 is very strong, 0 is absent. Ability means if a person is, for example, member of a decision-making board, or is the final decision maker, then the power will be very high. You can also make some comments here why you selected the number that you selected here. Urgency is not the ability to change your success, but the willingness. And you can imagine that some people can be very powerful, but have no particular willingness to do something for you because, for example, they don't know anything about medical nutrition, as probably is the case here, because this is a Souvenate person, and they may be powerful, but nutrition is not a well-known treatment option yet in Souvenate, in Alzheimer. Then we have support levels from -2 to +2, active resistor to active supporter for medical nutrition regardless of brand, so in medical nutrition in Alzheimer, and the support levels for Nutricia as a brand, as opposed to competition. Then we have summary status. Summary status is a very rough indication of the status of that person. It may be red, which means against us, negative. It may be amber, which is in the middle, fence sitter, needs a lot of work to be done before we can turn him into an advocate. And green would be in our pocket, so to say, or aligned with us. And then finally, blue, you may set if you think, well, we're not sure yet. We haven't really assessed it well. We still need to contact that person or meet with that person. And then we have an ability to include the influence level, local, regional, national. Again, you can make some statements here of why you made those choices. Then in the bottom here, we have an engagement section. Level of engagement. This is either from 0, none, we never spoken to the person, all the way to probably maximum level, which is partnership. True partner, jointly doing activities with us. Important to assess how close are we at this moment towards this individual. A primary objective, what do we want to accomplish with this person? Key message towards Professor Anderson. Latest update, this is an important field because it's a field where you see a key here, and if you click on the key, you're going to be able to make a little remark here. And you see, for example, a phone call with them, with him, discussed, blah blah. And you can understand if you do that and you press save now, this actual piece of information is going to be added to the list of activities that have happened with Professor Anderson. It's going to be date, time stamped, and it's going to be name stamped. You see here that it's already preset to my name. That's because I'm logged in under my name right now. So you have a complete overview of what has happened with Professor Anderson by you, but also by other people that have added information over here. A way to keep track of any engagement that has happened between anybody in the company and Professor Anderson. And then finally the field for which project is this person part of, and it can be one or multiple projects. If it's multiple, you just separate them by a comma, like that. Okay, so Market Access Souvenir UK, that's part of the project. When you change something, you always have to remember to press save before you leave the case. So I'm going to press save now, and then you see a pop-up box is going to say, okay, we have saved the changed data. One more thing I want to show you. If you click on Forms and you go into, this is the contact field, which you looked at now. Communications plan is another field that will bring up what are we going to do with Professor Anderson. And as part of this project, Market Access Souvenir UK, Kate Hall has decided that these are the activities that she is planning to do with Professor Anderson. You see it's a description of what is going to happen, the originator, who's going to do it. Now for some it's already clear who's going to do it, for some not yet, and a date. You can press now and it will be the date today, and you can select the date in the future. This is a communication list of activities that you're going to do and activities that you have done. Now imagine you've created this plan, this list of activities, and you have actually are doing something. For example, you're going to start doing this abstract service with Professor Anderson. You're going to put the date here that you've done it, that actually this has happened, and you're going to upload the document that you've sent to Professor Anderson. And you do that in this section, the link or launch. Best is always to upload it, and you have it available in the system for everybody to see. So you click this button, and then you can say, okay, look for a file and upload it, and then that file is going to be in the system for everybody to keep track of, and also for your own reason. Again, press save when you leave the system, and you can always close it when you're done looking at this individual case. Of course, there are print options. You can go and print here, and you can always say, okay, print, and then you can print the whole case to the printer.